Hi, welcome to my first lesson on a series of calculus lessons I'm going to teach on this channel. Okay, so in this first lesson, what we're going to do is to talk about instantaneous velocity, right? This is a concept that we use to start talking about limits. Okay, so right after here, we will jump into limits in our next lessons to discuss them. Okay, but this concept is supposed to build up or build your concepts and knowledge on limits. Okay, so consider the position function. So we have a function here and we are saying that this function is a position function, right? So s of t is defined to be negative 16t squared plus 128t, right? Complete the following table with appropriate average velocities, then make a conjecture about the value of the instantaneous velocity at t equals 1. The average velocity, right? Let me write it here. The velocity average, right, is a formula that is given in this form: s of t1, where s is the function given, is s of t2 minus s of t1 over t1 minus t2. Actually, it's the other way around. Okay, t2 minus t1. So this is more like just, yeah, that's how you find the average velocity of a particular position function given. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that for each interval I pick, t1 to t2, right, just have to calculate these things, and I'll use the various average velocities I get to make a conjecture about the instantaneous velocity. The instantaneous velocity is the velocity you want to know at time t equals 1, right? But then again, this function or this position function is a continuous function, so you just want to know, as I'm approaching 1 little by little, what happens to the velocity, right? So that is the whole concept about limits, and so we use this application to just talk about it. Okay, so first, on this interval 1 2, right, the average velocity is equal to s of 2 minus s of 1 over 2 minus 1, right? So what I'm going to do is plug in 2 here in this function, right? So wherever you see t, you plug in 2, right? So I'm sorry, negative 16 2t squared plus or t2, then you square that, right, plus 128 into 2, then minus, when you plug in that, that's what you get. Then I'm going to put the whole of this into parentheses: negative 16 into 1 plus 128 into 1. Okay, this bracket here, or this parenthesis here, means I have to solve everything I have there before I can subtract. Okay, so look at where the bracket is. Okay, so everything divided by 2 minus 1, right? So I'll go ahead and calculate this, and this is going to give me 80. Okay, so you plug it here, 80. On the other hand, if I talk about the other intervals, okay, say I want the interval 1 and 1.5, all I got to do is to come here and change this value to 1.5. Okay, 1.5, and this will be 1.5, and this, after calculating, you're going to get 88. Okay, so you can use a calculator here. So what I mean is, use this formula, right, plug in the bigger t and then subtract when you plug in the smaller t value, right? And I've done 2 examples. So when you do this one, you're going to get 88. When you do for the other interval, you're going to get 94.4. When you do for the next one, you're going to get 95.84. When you do for the last one, you're going to get 98.984, right? Now if you, oh sorry, it's actually 95. It's 95.984. Now if you go ahead and continue, maybe you can actually come up with, maybe this is not giving you any clues, or you can go ahead with the next interval 1 and 1.0001, right? And this will give you approximately 95.99984. What does this tell us? It tells us that as we get closer and closer to 1, right? And I'm going to show you what I mean by you're getting closer to 1. So you want to know the velocity of the particle at 1, right? But you are looking at some time interval getting closer and closer to 1. So at first we were somewhere at 2, right? Then we moved to 1.5. We moved to 1.1 and 1.01, right? And now if I'm moving to 1.001, meaning I'm getting closer and closer to 1. What it means is I'm trying, so 001, if I get closer and closer again, I'm trying to collapse that gap. That what happens if I move very close to 1, what is the instantaneous velocity? I just want to measure the velocity at a particular point. But I'm not going to use just the equation so that way. What I'm going to do is I'm using, as I'm getting closer and closer and closer to 1, right? As I'm getting closer and closer to 1, what happens? What do I get? Okay. And that is where this instantaneous velocity or this average velocity comes in. So you use average velocity to calculate these ones. Now to make the conjecture about the instantaneous velocity, we just look at where is this value getting closer and closer to. You realize that at 95.84 it moved to 95.98. now it's 95.99 something. If I keep on getting closer and closer, probably change this number of zeros to 4 zeros, like between 1 and 1.00001, I mean 4 zeros, it will get more closer to 95, right? So it will be like 95.99 more nines and then something like that. Okay, so the conjecture here is based on the average velocities. Okay, the instantaneous, right? Let me just say IV. The instantaneous velocity is 96 meters per second. Why? Because it's getting closer and closer and closer to 96. Okay, if I round it to the nearest whole number, it's actually 96. Okay, when we do more about calculus, we can revisit this problem where we'll talk about derivatives, and the derivative of a position function is actually the velocity, and that will give us straight away the velocity at any point. Okay, but we've not talked about that, so that's why I'm not talking about anything. Okay, because if you do the velocity, then if you know derivatives, then it would come out that this is actually 96. But we are using the idea of getting closer to some value to make an approximation, and that is what our next topic is going to be on. Limit is, as you get closer to a particular value, what does the output also turn into? Okay, so if you look at this, as we get closer and closer to 1 from these intervals, right, using the interval notation here that I represented, if you look at it very carefully, as we get closer and closer to this 1 from the right of it, the output of our average velocity get closer and closer to 96, and that is what we call limit. Okay, so we'll talk about limit in more details in our next lessons. Stay tuned and like my video and also share for others to benefit. All right, see you in our next lesson.